Let's see. Click, click, click. Welcome, Wild Wild Web 3. How are you guys doing?
Hello, we're good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Clicking a couple buttons here to go live.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just
Gonna
sorting this.
put on the show a little bit with some content here that my friends are dropping off. So take your time. We'll get with you guys in about a minute or two.
Yep, no worries.
Okay,
And then if
cool.
you want to join on Spaces, just put your phones on mute, and then people can follow you on there as well.
Brilliant. Yeah, just join the space.
And
Cool.
then
No rush. Awesome.
I'll
And
turn the volume
if you guys
down.
want to record anything on your end, by all means, this is going to be recorded. And yeah, that's about it. We'll get going here in a minute. Just got to get the old theme song 23 tuned up, chimed in for all my aliens, apes, and zombies. And it is a morning here in the states of Chicago, or the state of Illinois in Chicago. And we have some friends, international love coming from across the pond. And we'll get with our Web 3, or Wild Wild Web 3 friends here in 1 minute. 69. 23. 69. We are in the Novoverse. Novoverse. We are in the Novoverse. Novoverse. We in the Novoverse. In the Novoverse. We in the Novoverse. In the Novoverse. It's lit in the Novoverse. In the Novoverse. NFTs in the Novoverse. The Novoverse. We are in the Novoverse. Novoverse. We are in the Novoverse. Novoverse. Back at it again, and it is Saturday. I love it. It feels like a 3, 4, 5 day weekend. If you're in the States, we had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I am thankful for a lot of things in this space. One of them, Mitch, is Mr. Dingia, who is building in Decentraland, including building in, as you can see right here, underneath his name. And then also he built the Novoverse, which we just hopped into right now. I'm going to run upstairs to make sure we're streaming live in the Novoverse, making sure that camera's set up. And there we are, Wild Wild Web 3. We're making it live and direct. But I want to point out what Mr. D is actually doing in this space as well, because he is applying for a grant. Let me see if I can get the right buttons pulled up here. He's applying for a grant within the Decentraland space, and you can vote for the grants. And he's trying to do 75 Decentraland builds. He's asking for a tier 5, which is up to 125 USD for 6 months with a 1-month cliff right there. And over on the right, I have my wallet connected, and he needs 400,000 votes for this to get accepted. He's at 5,000 right there, but I'm going to vote yes on it and dump in 1,000 votes. He's a strong builder in the space. He went out to Dubai and actually gave out a bunch of T-shirts, gave out a whole bunch of freebies to kind of promote the space. So as you can see, we're doing a live voting in Decentraland. I'll add it to my watch list. Yes. And this is how Decentraland distributes funds within their organization to help people, possibly get paid to put into the Decentraland. Like, this money doesn't go into the pocket, but right here is all the builds that he has currently been building. And he wants to make 7 builds as being one of the lead architects within there. He has the different poll and the poll options that you can do, so the community can vote on what direction it goes. So, it's like a DAO, so you can vote on it. And it has other ideas in there, websites, contact information. So check it out before you vote on it. It also has the comments from the other people who are voting on it, yes and no, because people can vote no on it. And you have to be the guardians of this galaxy. And one cool thing that I did is I have actually 2 wallets. So the one wallet that I voted on before had 1,000 votes on it. And this particular wallet here has 18,000 votes on it. The reason this one has more votes in it, the voting power, is because this is the wallet that is connected to the Novoverse itself. So when you go into the Novoverse, the 9 plots of land that are in the Novoverse, it is 9 plots of land that make up the estate of the Novoverse, is the 3x3. And then also the funds that are in there as far as mana is involved, where we do have some house funds that we use to make wearables. We don't really sell very many wearables. We give them away for free. But in here, in this wallet, we have right here our voting power, as they say. We have 18,566 votes. And we're going to vote yes for Mr. Dingia to bring his up there a little bit where we want him to be, closer to that 400,000 mark. There are friends out there that have hundreds of thousands of voting power votes because they have significant amount of land. They are statesmen within Decentraland, and that just kind of how it works. I'm going to add that to the watch list on this wallet as well. So now you can see he's already moved from about 5,000 up to 26,000 votes, excuse me, right there, just by spreading the word. Any questions, thoughts, concerns, feel free to reach out to me as we hop into Decentraland, building the case for, like anything else, documenting what's happening in this wild, wild Web3 world. And I guess that's a perfect transition. How are we doing? It's what, 6 hours difference? So what do we got? Like 3, 4 o'clock over there?
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
o'clock.
3 o'clock.
That was a very good transition. Seamless transition.
Speaking of seamless, I want to congratulate on the 0-0 match. I don't know if you're following international, as I call football, but soccer. I'm proud of how the States played the juggernaut of England yesterday. We did what we had to do to get around to hopefully winning 2 points, or winning Iran and getting 3 points in our group to advance. So I'm not sure if you guys were privy to what's happening with Wales beating us, and then England on the 0-0 tie yesterday. But just like NFTs, soccer is an international language.
Yes, no, we didn't catch the game, but saw the score. I'm from Wales, so this is I'm getting multiple different things coming in.
I'm sorry for the loss in the game. You guys had an excellent match against us, but you know what? You can take it to England and really solidify your guys' name in the World Cup there. So best of luck moving forward.
Yeah.
You're out, but you're down, but not out, my friend. You're down, but not out.
Yeah. Well, Iran did surprisingly. They did good, so can't really argue with that.
So from Wales, all right. So the international language of NFTs in the space, you guys are documenting what's happening in the wild, wild web. How about a little intro for yourselves, for the people watching, for the people who are recording, and for live in Decentraland?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Lucy, and this is Cameron. We're the directors of a documentary that we've been making for the past year or so now. It's called Wild Wild Web 3. Our Twitter handle is Wild Wild Web 3 doc with a little DOC on the end. And yeah, we've been documenting the space, following different artists, collectors, developers, and following different people's journeys. So yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
What started you guys off in this journey? I mean, when did this documentary start? But 2, when did you guys specifically start in this space? Was it something like, hey, Web3, let's start documenting it today? Was it something you maybe got into prior to going the route of documenting what's happening in this space?
Yeah, we kind of happened upon a networking event, like an in real life networking event that we went to, which kind of was about NFTs, and it was suddenly we were like, right, this is interesting. The people were interesting that we were speaking to, all the stories that we were saying were interesting, and it was one of those things where we felt the need to pick up a camera, so we did it straight away, and started documenting it before kind of and started learning about the space as we were filming it, which was a great perspective, I think, because it kind of as we captured it, just kind of showed all this kind of welcoming communities and welcoming people on camera, which was great. And now people kind of warmed up and brought us in.
I had a very similar experience in what I was trying to do in this space. First, I was fortunate to get into CryptoPunks at about $200 a piece. From there, I wanted to document what the other people actually creating in the space, because it was like Snowfro, like starting off on art blocks, and then like John and Matt like evolving into like Meebits, and then like other people entering in like G Money saying like, hey, what are these CryptoPunks about? And then it evolved even another step to Spotty Wi-Fi and G Money getting AR filters that you're seeing that I use in front of you. So it evolves the space, and then like these were just people that I linked up with in Discord, and then now they're turning into like hardcore friends, like where I'm like spending hours a day passing around ideas, but also documenting their journey. Like I don't make much. I make content. I try to find the cool people making the cool things in the space. Very similar to what you guys are doing here in Wild Wild Web 3. And then they have the website wildwildweb3.xyz. Let me get that on the bigger picture here. And it's the same thing as documenting the journey. But as you said, which was extremely important, was learning along the way. For me, I was documenting it, one, for actually security purposes, just in case I bought at the time they were like a $500-600 asset, which was a lot of money for me. And I wanted to say, like, if I clicked it wrong, like, what do I send the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, to say I lost $500, just like losing $500 in stock? And then on the same token, it was, well, I want to document that I'm having this just in case something goes wrong. Then I can just like show like the steps I took. Like, all right, this person that I'm sending 8 Ethereum to for $1,600, because Ethereum was $200 at the time, is sending me this CryptoPunk out of good of heart. Well, I don't know him outside of a Discord server, outside of a couple of maybe chats online, but now I'm here documenting it, and it's saved on my YouTube forever. And with that, like, those are the same players that are in the game now, and you see what happens to them. Or some, grow into Tony Herrera, who's on all over the place with product placement with his CryptoPunk and building and the hierarchy of what's happening in brand distribution, to, like I said, Spotty Wi-Fi out there rapping in the space. So like a lot of that was the educational aspect. So you learned while you're creating. What was your careers prior to this? I mean, filmmakers, independent film, documentarians, or was it just like, hey, let's just pick up the camera. We have a cool way of creating content. Because I was a teacher. The only thing I did is I hit record, and it just streamed right into all these social platforms.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I mean, if you told me that you had been a presenter before, I'd completely believe you. I think you're great at presenting. But yeah, so I mean, prior to this film, we've got a production company together, so that's been helpful. And previous to that, I was working in TV and for film documentaries. So for other companies and other people, and then we created our own company, and decided that this was a really interesting story, and it was happening so quickly that we really just wanted to jump in and start recording. So that's what we did. I mean, we were fortunate that because of our background and our kind of our business and creating films for a living anyway, we had all the gear and could do it kind of in-house basically. So yeah,
it's been one of those great, because it's the two of us, so you'll see us. I'm on the sound, Lucy's on the camera, and it just means we're quite lightweight. We can, if something's happening, we can just go off and do it, and it's not a lot to it's not lots of people to organize. So it's been real fluid, pick up and go kind of film to make, which I think has really lent itself to the space and how people interact and how quickly it moves.
And how fast it moves. You're right about that. I want to say what's up to postroad.eth. Thanks for tuning in. Up at the pinned tweet on our spaces, you can actually watch what we're talking about live. We're talking with Wild Wild Web 3 about documenting the space, and it's spot on with how fast the space moves, where you need to have that small, nimble group to be able to get into these events. I mean, some of them, they're hard to get into. So like trying to roll in somewhere with like a 6-person crew with grips and sound and all that, like it's going to be impossible. and how fast the space move, where like sometimes you might not be able to wire up and like hook someone up to the sound, where you just might just be like mic in hand, let's grab and go. And I was fortunate in 2001 at NFT NYC with Dan Sickle. He invited me into, he was creating a document on the Web3 space as well. And it was like the same thing where like, it is quick. This space does move fast. You have all these people concentrated in a short area in a short amount of time. How are you going to do that? And a lot of that is like a jigsaw puzzle where you're dumping it out on the table and then you're piecing it together almost ad lib after you grab it, because it is a document. So, I mean, you don't have a script to it. You don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, it's the bear market, it's the bull market, it's everything in between. Oh, long time no here, my friend. I documented O's time in the space in Africa, where he sold out the Afro Droids, and the Afro Droids paid for a all-girls school through the Dream Weavers. I'll never forget that, man. So he banked, man. He sold out in the bull market, and he banked. I don't know. I don't want to say how many zeros were at the end of it, but I think it was like 6 figures plus for an all-girls school in his home country in Africa. And that's like the thing that this does. And we were able to document it and put it out there and show what it is. And this is going to loop back into a question for you guys. Being, you know, a two-person group here is like, the Web3 space is a great equalizer where you can reset. You don't have to be a big production house making this huge, spending all this money to fly people in, people out. You guys are using pretty much probably, I'm guessing, your own funds to get to these grassroots locations to get the IRL experience of documenting people in the space. And possibly being in Europe might limit you from the capacities of making it over to the States, where there might be more conferences, more options. So can you maybe talk about like how the Web3 space kind of helped create this, not only create what you're documenting, but also create your new wave of using prior equipment, the Web2 equipment of documenting things, using the cameras and mics, and now using it in a Web3 way?
I guess so because we are such a small team, it's been, as you say, like so helpful. We can just kind of get to places really easily, and also it's been easier to kind of build relationships with people. I mean, like, you know, when we met you at NFT London, I think if we were in a massive crew, I don't think that would have happened in the same way. It has been self-funded up until this point, but we are looking at crowdfunding, which will be launching on the 12th of December. So
let's talk a little bit about that, because that's an important process of that, the crowdfunding, getting the community members behind that, because I mean, that is essentially that's what happens in Web 2.0. And unfortunately now in Web 2.0, the big conglomerates, the hierarchies within this whole space are hogging it. So you're seeing almost repeat movies over and over and over again, because that's where the crowdfunding is coming from, a Web 2 spot, because they see a cookie cutter. They know they can get a certain percentage of ticket sales, of viewership, of whatever the heck it may be. But this is at the forefront of it, where now people can come in, get in on the ground floor of it, and have a stake of it. You know, if it's a part in it, if it's credits at the end of it, if it's, having a ticket for the actual event itself. So talk a little bit about the crowdfunding that you guys have going on here. I mean, heck, you guys are just a couple of weeks away, not even months.
Yeah, so it'll be the first phase, which will be kind of launching, as you say, in a couple of weeks. People can donate in Tezos, and we'll be able to donate in Ethereum as well as like normal money. I mean, incentives is like, you know, obviously that's a thing with like Web2 crowdfunding anyway. But one of the things that we'll be looking at is, you know, if you donate a certain amount, we'll give you NFTs, you'll get access to screenings. We're looking at, like, you know, as we get further along into the process, like different things that we can put on for people who are investing in the film and different events and things like that. So,
it's been important to kind of think about what, with people, we've been speaking to a lot of different artists and a lot of different kind of communities that they're attached to, and what would be important to them as an incentive and things like that. Like you said, names on credit is kind of fun, but having kind of like a touchstone with people who are making stuff is an interesting way of having a creative process, I think.
And that's the important thing, is because it's almost like selling it to the fans, the people, what they want to see, giving the fans what they want to see in all this. And you can check that out on their Twitter handle, which I'm just a big fan of Twitter. So on there, click on it. In their bio is the link to their website, wildwildweb3.xyz. It rolls off the tongue very nicely. You can donate in Tezos, Ethereum coming soon, and then also whatever currency it might be in. If pound, US, dollar reduce. I just made that one up. There's no such thing as a dollar redo. But if we can convert it, maybe we can figure that out all within the space. And one thing that I would like to do when the time is right is I have this beautiful screen here in Decentraland, and we have interoperability, so we can get this actually screen playing live in Neos VR. We can get the screen on Cyber, so like people on their cell phones can watch it, people on their iGadgets, as far as iPads can watch it. And when the time is right, we can get this going up, playing in Decentraland as a way to make the IRL experience meet the metaverse very easily and very simply. So what are the best types of interviews you guys get? Is it like totally like random, like bumping into someone at a spot? Is it more of like meeting someone like, hey, are you guys gonna be around NFT London? Let's meet here. What is it? The total random meetup? Is it maybe something plotted, something planned?
Yeah, I'll hang on. We'll do one at a time, because my favorite one is doing those kind of random bumps, and you meet them up, and you kind of explain a bit about what we're doing, and then they talk, but then you see that you've kind of bumped into that person again, and it's that very quick familiarity that you build up, which I think is I really like. So that's mine.
Yeah, no, that is definitely it is so much fun. I think so. We'll be including like those bits, and that's been a great part of it. And then also we've got a few people who we've been following more closely, and we've been filming with them in their house. We've been filming them, the way that they work, and quite like in a way that I think that you get to know the people who are working in the space, and it's offers kind of more of an inside perspective of what it's like, rather than the kind of news headlines which you normally see about Web3 and NFTs.
Yeah. And also here's behind the curtain a bit, but they're not just, at events sometimes you've got to be on, and you've got to be if they're going for a talk, or they're doing whatever, they're presenting in a certain way, which is a certain mask or facade or whatever it is of presenting. So seeing behind that a little bit, and seeing what the day-to-day, talking with like people in their family and things like that, that's a nice really nice connecting emotional kind of roots.
I love that. And that actually is one thing I really enjoy about this space and the community, because there'll be times like I'll be hanging out with my DGen friends on a normal whatever night, and I'll be Wednesdays, for a good example, Wednesdays. I usually broadcast Wednesdays at 9 at night, 9 in the evening at night. So like Saturdays, I try to hop on to help my friends in the UK, in the EU, because 9 at night in the States, you guys are all sleeping, and you guys want to come on, people off. Like I'll wake up at 3, 4 in the morning. Well, we could do it. All right. Back to the main part is where sometimes the technology doesn't work. Sometimes we'll do an entire show and the sound doesn't work, and I just won't be in a good mood. And, it's just the ebbs and flows of it. And, the friends will be there, and they'll know, like, man, I'm so sorry. We blew this recording. It just didn't work. But they'll be there for me, and they'll be like, hey, Crypto Nova, we can tell you're pretty pissed off about it. Don't worry about it. Like you put time and energy and effort into it, compared to like, maybe meeting me straight up at NFT London, where like everything is, bubble gums and balloons, where everything is on the up and up. You're meeting friends, and like everything is awesome, where sometimes the behind the scenes of like where stuff isn't working is like the real nitty gritty. and like you guys are saying, then you're really actually getting to know the full person rather than just there. Because there are times when I'm out till 3-4 in the morning, and like it's just like I'm tired. Let's just go home. Like it's not because I'm not a drinker, I'm not a boozer, not a partier. It's just I'm tired, and it's just like time to roll home. And they'll be like people like I'm staying, I'm going out, this and that. It's just like, hey, I got to speak tomorrow. This is the real deal. Like we got to get up there and do it and help present the space. And that's what you guys are bringing to light is the hardworking people that are doing it, because it is a grind. I Am Six is listening. He helps make the music that you heard in the very beginning of it.
Oh yeah, love that.
The Novoverse and Money
so
Morris 70 put in it. Welcome to the Novoverse. We are in the Novoverse. So it's a catchy tune, but like that's the thing is like I Am Six has been grinding from back in the day from his friends from like 80s and 90s, iconic rappers from the rap scene, and still grinding today on all that. And Owu in Africa grinding for his community out there, and documenting those are very important because that gets lost in all that and in all of this, because people think of PFP projects, floor prices, utility, this and that.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually people building that stuff, and they actually care so much about it that they worry themselves sick because they're building it for their entire community. But yet community members will be so quick to be harsh on them. Like, oh, you made a one of one and airmailed it to whomever. Well, maybe he's trying to build community and giving it to a famous person so that they can promote it to make everyone's floor price go up if that's what they want.
Yeah.
Me, what I try to do is I try to get my PFP. I'm not trying to sell it for $1 million. I want to make $1 million off of it. So I want to promote it. I want to put it on Crazy Little Masks. I want to have it in the Novoverse. I want to plug myself for Avatar XYZs, wherever that button may be. If you need one of these filters right here, you can get one of these filters made so you can make $1 million off your NFT. All right. So if you want to be documented in the world of Web3, you can get one of these filters going. All that cost there, again, is a great equalizer. 95% of it goes to the developer who makes it. I don't make it. My friends make it. They just give me free filters after I, sell enough filters so then they can afford to make me a filter for free. So it's all back to that community, all getting people back into the wave of things here. I keep on saying Web3 to start off, but it's Wild Web3. Wild Web3 doc. It's at Wild Web3 doc. What's the time frame on this? Documentaries could take years to make. You're waiting for the next bull market. Are you? I see it in the roadmap a little bit, but what is a little bit more facts?
So as you say, it's like it's difficult sometimes with documentary making to be like, right, okay, this is the end. So we do have our kind of own like deadlines with it, and we've kind of got some ideas of when it'll finish, but we can't say too much on that.
And you really shouldn't, because there's so many moving parts to all this. There's so much involved in this. You can turn around and maybe gain another featured person that could really just drive this narrative into a whole new different direction.
That's the thing, yeah. And I think what the main importance for us is to make a good film, but one of those films that people can kind of connect to. I think what you're saying before about that people have the good days and bad days. That's really where people in Web3 can connect. But if we're making a film that can kind of reach a wider audience, people who maybe not just in this space, that they might not understand the value of selling an NFT for X amount of money, but they'll connect with someone if they're having a bad day or they're having a good day. And it's trying to bring those like real life personal stories. Doesn't matter what it's about. It's about kind of finding those ups and downs, which have so we just got to make sure that those kind of story arcs and everything like that are come to an end or come to a tidy conclusion. And that's really when we kind of go, right, I think we've got it. I think we've got the thing. But yeah, difficult to know exactly when. Like you said, we might tomorrow speak to someone who's changes the whole thing. But yeah, we've got ideas of the story arc in our head so far.
Are you guys looking for more players in the game, or are you guys set on the path of what you guys have set with the players that are that you're documenting right now?
We've got kind of a main thread basically, but we're always looking to speak to more people, and to keep meeting people in the space. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, things change so quickly that capturing that and showing the kind of wide amount of people that there are is something that's been really important to us in this process.
Yeah, and you never know which conversations are, it might just be an introductory conversation 1 month, but then 3 months later, it becomes the most relevant conversation. So it's great to just speak to as many people as possible.
How was NFT London? Was that a good accelerant for footage? Was that just a good way of making content? How did NFT London fare out for you guys?
Yeah, it was really good. We really enjoyed it. We met loads of amazing people, and I've got some really good footage from that. So that was a really good experience.
Yeah, it was nice to meet some people in real life that we'd spoken to just on like this chats and things like that. So that was great, especially when you got kind of mixing that kind of footage. So yeah, that was really useful.
Well, I mean, that's really true emotion content where like I'm somewhat recognizable when I'm walking through the space. I dress how I look right now, and like sometimes like people will go across the room, and like I'll see them, and then it's just like it's like a movie, like where you come up and you're like big old hug, like a good solid hug, and you can tell like time, energy is spent within that hug because time and energy was spent with us logging hours together, passing ideas back, talking about successes, dealing with failures, whatever it is. Like for the amount of hours Art Jedi and I just talked back and forth for over the past 2 years, and for me to finally just get a real hug was like a real freaking hug. It was just like there's a lot more behind it than just like, oh my gosh, it's Art Jedi. Oh my gosh, it's Crypto Novo. It's just like, yeah, we're doing it. We're in this. Like we're at the forefront of something here. And when this Renaissance has a thick old book written about it, we're going to have chapters in that book. And it's such a visual medium that it's going to be documented very well. I mean, the generations now have had a phone in their hands since almost birth. So, I mean, pictures and all that have been there. Me at my age, my half-life, subtract me in half. I even have a cell phone half my life ago. So like you had to go to like almost gold Polaroids that we're pulling out and looking at. But now this stuff can be digitally saved, organized, and stored. And to get something from production line to a major outlet, like a Hulu, like a Netflix, like ABC, NBC, like anything that is broadcast is achievable nowadays. I was talking with Mike Mongo, who is at NFT London, NFT NYC, and he's an astronaut. And he's just like, I always wanted to be an astronaut, always, my whole life. And then 10 years ago, like you could almost be an astronaut. And then 5 years ago, like anyone could be an astronaut. I mean, obviously you need to train, you might need some funding, but now he's going to be an astronaut. And he's just like, at his age, I don't know how old he is, but like when he was a teenager, when he was in college, like he couldn't be an astronaut. Like it was almost impossible, but now it's possible because of the technology. And technology is the same thing that we're seeing of how you can record content, how you can portray content, and it's people's lives. And you're seeing it more and more where that is the best thing that's on TV, starting with, I think it was Road Rules on MTV back in the early 90s, where it was like the first real world type of experience of filming people. Now that's all there is. I mean, movies are almost a way of the past. Movies are more of like documentaries, almost like Blair Witch, where they're hybrids. So you guys are at the forefront of it. Very few people doing what you're doing. So you're going to capture a lot of people because people want to see this. I'm all about watching it. I know if I type in on I don't know if it's there anymore, but if I type in, I have an Xfinity, which is a major carrier of TV in the US. And if you type in NFT, there's an NFT thing, and it's a half an hour thing on ABC, which is another major carrier, and it's all about NFTs. And Mark Cuban's in it. That's in it. And actually, Crypto Novo's in it too. I have a 10-second
Oh, nice.
thing where I turn around. It's like Crypto Novo, me dressed up in a digital mask after Steve Aoki talks. I don't say anything, but I had to sign a waiver that they can use my like image. But those are like the small tidbits that get added into what's happening in this Web3 world. And it's very cool. What's the next best steps for people who want to track you, want to find you, want to talk about it, to fund you guys? That's an important thing as well.
Yeah, so I think firstly, like, follow us on Twitter, Wild Wild Web3 Doc. And then, yeah, DM us. We do check our DMs. If you have, any like personal questions or whatever. We also have our website where we'll be posting more updates about the funding, and also you can donate with the Tezos at the moment. So
currently Tezos play like in there now, but we'll be posting everything about the crowdfunding coming up. So this is the time to start following, because it's all going to start coming out nowish soon.
Hit it up now. Do it now. There it is, right there. That was on ABC. You see the watermark on the lower left. Mark Cuban, and that was actually this is the beginning. That is the future, and that's how it was honestly lined up. It was crazy. I could not believe it. I honestly couldn't. Like, oh, NFTs, this and that. And there was another one with Steve Aoki where it showed me dressed up, as you guys saw me at NFT London. And with that, I will, show off the lovely things that I saw in London here on some of the highlights that I had there.
You have a good time?
Man, I never crossed the pond. It is a world-class city. I've traveled to lots of cities in the States. I've been very fortunate enough to travel. My dad worked for American Airlines as a baggage handler. So we were able to travel when I was younger. Never to London, man, such nice people, very culturally diverse, a melting pot of just tourists and people that live there. And I loved every second of it. Super clean. And Chicago is a very clean city as well. There's the stage manager. Awesome. I'm trying to find that Art Jedi picture somewhere in this, but it was just tons of cool people, tons of cool things out there. Got invited to a rave, which was pretty dope, pretty awesome. So I try to document the space for myself and what it's been. So when I come up and someone took a selfie of us taking a selfie, or someone took a picture of us, and that's Art Jedi there. And that was just awesome. So it was lined with highlights from meeting Pranksy's lawyer, and me Pranksy, who knows, to meeting the Flower Girls, which was an awesome, very strong project, to having London's very own dance party, just going outside with the Joe Giff and the Chadverse. It was like a flash mob. That's right outside the QE2 Center. And
I think we called that. Yeah. We finished filming. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was one thing after another. So I enjoy these events. It was fun. I stay sober the entire time. There's Pranksy's lawyer right there, Nicola, and then Obi-Wan, Ben. He is the youngest person to speak at the University of Oxford upon blockchain and NFTs. Just another smart person in the space. And then I'll give props to other people who are random, anonymous people in the space and old friends. There's Mike Mongo right here, the astronaut that I was speaking about. That is going to be an astronaut. And I think that's the important thing is keep striving, because I would never imagine I would be even for 1 second on ABC, even for 1 second, not even saying anything. And, you guys reached the olive branch out to me, and I want to extend that olive branch out to you, that I'll be happy to play this documentary in the Novoverse whenever the time is right. We can token gate it. So it can be someone needs to actually purchase or pre-fund to actually walk on the grounds to see this. And you can have people come onto the grounds and not be able to see it unless they have the token proof. So they can actually have visual. We can make a wearable where they can put on their visual goggles and get some popcorn and enjoy the movie. So I'm here to help in any capacity. when the funding goes live, let's get you guys back on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd be really
If
good.
you want to bring one of the actors, actresses that you are following in this space, or the alien, ape, and zombie, as I call it, because some people are anonymous. I identify as my CryptoPunk, as you can tell. We can have them come on and talk about it too, behind the scenes, promote it, pump the film a little bit, because I'm about it, because you guys are helping other artists out there, whatever it is, in whatever capacity, whatever they're building. I'm here to help those people because they helped build me. I didn't build myself. The people in that CryptoPunks Discord built me.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
that'd be so good.
We'd love to come back on.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Anything for this Saturday before, man, it's like 50 degrees here in Chicago. My Christmas lights are up, but I'm going to go out for like a walk or do something fun like that. Anything else for the good of the cause before we break for this Saturday and enjoy the rest of our weekend here?
I think just people check out our stuff, share it around if you can. And keep an eye out for our crowdfunding, which will be happening. We're really excited and proud about this project. I think, when we can share more about it, later down the line, like footage and stuff like that, I think people are going to be really excited to be involved if they happen. So,
Awesome. Well, we'll have you guys back on. Are you guys traveling anywhere else to do some to get some file footage? You guys going to go to NFT NYC in April here? What do we else? VCon in May. What else do we have on down the road? Art Basel in a couple days.
Yeah, I mean the NYC one is definitely on our list.
That's the next one we're aiming to go to. So that'll be so if you're going, we'll see you. See you there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to piggyback. I might have access. I usually get access. So if you two just want to follow me around, I might be able to work that into like an on-stage power panel / skit. If you're interested in that, hit me up. Hit me up right after this. I have a couple ideas with that.
We'll
might need to try to be a speaker like today because I think they have the first round of speakers coming out this week. So I want to get you looped in there. All right, cool. Hey, I am 6. Thanks for listening. Nervan.eth. Thanks for listening as well. All this up top, you can watch it. This was all recorded. Paris Shilton has it recorded. It's going to be on my own Twitter handle. Not about my Twitter handle. Down in the listeners, I should invite them up to be a co-host. I'm sorry, but Wild Web 3 Doc. That is at Wild Web 3 Doc. And then also Wild Web 3.xyz. That rolls off the tongue. You should be able to listen to that rather easily. I'm going to be traveling to Art Basel this week. So Saturday I will not be around. Man, I have something cool AF going on down there. All right, I'm going to pump it right now. I don't even know what I can and can't talk about it. So if this breaks an NDA, oh, wow, I'm on the right page here. First, we're going to go to Yuga. That shows maybe something that I might be up to. And if you're going to be down in Miami, you might want to, it's not going to be anything huge, but this Punks Legendary project right here of distributing punks to museums. The Institute of Contemporary Art in Miami will be hosting a CryptoPunk, and that CryptoPunk is 305. 305 is the same area code as Miami. So they are having a CryptoPunk there. We will be doing something really cool with this CryptoPunk there. And if you like these AR filters you're seeing right here, that might be the biggest clue of them all. So you want to pay attention this time next week. Man, we might have some fun with this. Maybe we can get some tunes from I Am 6 attached to this as well. But if you're at the museum there, you will be able to see this CryptoPunk on a digital display within the museum as part of the Yuga Labs entry of giving CryptoPunks to museums, man. It's pretty freaking awesome where they're giving a CryptoPunk to the Institute of Contemporary Art. And then as you can see here, the Yuga Labs is talking with the, I believe that's the mayor of Miami right there.
Wow.
So they're just trying to help promote art in the space. I want to be down there to be part of it and then document it. I want to have the selfies. I want to have the footage. I don't know if there's going to be a musical person guest there, but there might be. I want to be there for it. I want to be in on the action. And that's the part of it, is being an active participant so you can get out there in the space so you can make a name for yourself. If it's making a name for others through making a documentary like Wild Wild Web 3, or if it's just getting out there and just making selfies. Take your time to get to know who's in the space, because you'll never know what's next. And a lot of that is the mediums that are going to be presenting these things in the next years, because these people are making footage of this stuff. They're getting broken down into micro content, and that micro content is being brought to people who need content. And the wave of Web 2 stuff is getting really boring, of recycling old movies that we've seen over and over again. So, Monty, I hope all is well. Get that yacht going, my friend. That's another aspect. We got something brewing with yachts too, man. There's a lot moving on in the space. We'll loop in here. Let's see. Wild Web 3. Shoot me in our Twitter DMs. The best way to talk. We'll talk offline real quick, right? While we have some free time.
All right. Sounds good.
Pull up my exit song here for all my friends in the space, if I can find it. It's on one of these millions of tabs I have open here. Here's a free NFT here. I'll just pull this up. That's on a tab. You can go to Macy'sParadeVote.com/vote journey, and you can vote for a NFT. It could be a Boss Beauty. It could be a Cool Cat. It could be G Money. It could be a Supduck or a VFriend. And the winning one could possibly be a float in next year's Thanksgiving Macy's Day Parade, which is pretty huge. You can vote on that. And I think it comes with a digital collectible with that. So you can look at the URL up top. You can freeze this if you want to. Pause it, look at it later. Make sure you have the proper link. Make sure you're clicking on all those proper links when you have there. Speaking of proper links, this is my link tree. In there, you can find all the links to me mic dropping. You can find my YouTube. You can find my Twitter. You can find anything you need in that YouTube. Is the exit song that I entered with from I Am 6, the Novoverse theme song. Appreciate it. And 69. Stay positive and love life. 23. We are in the Novoverse. 69. Novoverse. We are in the Novoverse. Novoverse. We in the Novoverse. In the Novoverse. We in the Novoverse. In the Novoverse. It's lit in the Novoverse. In the Novoverse. NFTs in the Novoverse. The Novoverse. We are in the Novoverse. That's right. Novoverse. Wow, Web 3 in the Novoverse. We're going to get them documented. We're going to get them in there. We're going to get it going. There they are. Hey, thanks again for making this week, this life, everything fun. Stay positive. Love life. Till next time. Peace. Couple buttons to end here. You guys can